Good morning. My name is Salome, and today I'm going to talk about um, the beef in hip hop right now, but I'm going to give you an astrological analyzation of the conflict in rap. And you have seen these arguments in the last 4 months, along with the recent beef between Remy Ma and Nicki Minaj. So I'm going to go into it. It's just a short video because I started to make, synchronicity in some of these beefs. And I study astrology, I study personalities, and I study conflict. So I had to, jump on this one. And I want to say to everybody out there that conflict, what we call beef, is natural. It has to happen. In order for you to know what's on a person's mind, there has to be some type of disagreement before there can be a union. So right now, at the present stage, everybody's waiting for Nicki Minaj to respond, and she's not doing it. And I'm going to tell you why she may not do it, because of her personality. Now, Remy Ma was born May 20th, 1980. That makes her a Gemini. Nicki Minaj is a Sagittarius. She's born December 8th, 1982. Okay. Now, I'm going to stop right there. Okay. Gemini is ruled by Mercury, and Mercury is dealing with communication, intelligence, and Mercury rules Virgo and Gemini. Okay. Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter, and Jupiter rules Pisces and Sagittarius. Okay. So we're going to get into the first point. Gemini and Sagittarius in traditional astrology, whether it's Western, Vedic astrology, Indian astrology, whatever it is, they are natural enemies, actually open enemies. And every astrological sign has an open enemy. So, excuse me. And as I said, Mercury governs Gemini and Virgo. So, if you know any Virgos in the rap game, which is Nas, and you know any Geminis, Kanye West, Tupac was a Gemini, and those are the only Geminis I know. If you know of any more Geminis, put them down here in below the comment box. Excuse me. Now, Nas, who is a Virgo, and Jay-Z is a Sagittarius. And I don't have Jay-Z's birthday. I should have put it down, but he's a Sagittarius. Virgos and Sagittarius have conflict too. You know, they have some problems when it comes to getting along because of their personalities and the planets that rule them. Because again, as I said, Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter, and Jupiter is dealing with the sun. And that's dealing with fire, hotness, fire, stuff like that. Virgo's dealing with earth, and Gemini is dealing with air. Gemini is an air sign. Virgo is an earth sign, but they're both ruled by Mercury. And Mercury gives you the communication, and as a Virgo, you're a earth sign, so that makes you more stable. And Mercury is your ruler, and you get communication really fast. You are able to communicate. You're able to pick up things very quickly amongst people. You're good lyricist. You're good with wording. You're good with all those things because you're just blessed with Mercury's power. Excuse me. Now, as we look at Nas, Ether. Now, when Remy Ma came out with Sheether, she's giving you the female version of Ether on top of the Ether beat. And I think that was very incredible and phenomenal because that was the beat that basically set fire to the Sagittarius Jay-Z. And he came back, he came back, but it wasn't as hard as Ether. Ether shut it down. The things that Ether did to Rockefeller, Ether tore Rockefeller apart. It was already falling. Ether was just a knife that basically nailed it to the coffin. You know what I'm saying? Dame and Jay-Z wasn't talking. Jay-Z was leaving, and he was with the Jewish guy, Lionel Core, or whatever his name is. And it just destroyed the rest of, Rockefeller. And Remy Ma responded. A lot of people say that Remy started it first, but no. When we're talking about the natural enemies as Sagittarius and Gemini and Virgo and Sagittarius, Sagittarius are known to criticize the Gemini in traditional astrology. And this is what Nicki Minaj did. What she did was, in the Make Love diss track with Gucci Mane, she was basically saying that Remy Ma had no taste. And a lot of people knew that she was going at Remy with that, because when Remy Ma was locked up, for all you that don't know, excuse me, the children in China were listening to Remy Ma's music. The Chinese people said that they felt that Remy Ma was more fashionable. She had a lot of taste. She was best dressed and everything. So when Nicki came out and said she had taste, I don't think so. She was going right directly for Remy's neck. She criticized Remy, which is what the Sagittarius does with the Gemini. So if you have some Geminis and Sagittarius in your family, and you see that the Sagittarius is always criticizing the Gemini, it's natural. That's what they do. It's a conflict. And these are natural conflicts in astrology. These are natural relationships, natural problems in these relationships dealing with Gemini and Sagittarius. And also with the Virgo and Sagittarius. When you look at Jay-Z and Beyonce is a Virgo and Jay-Z is a Sagittarius. They've had a riff. The Lemonade album was about him cheating and doing all the things that a Sagittarius man is going to do. Anyhow. And I'm not saying that every Sagittarius man is like this, but those are his character traits. He's going to cheat. He's going to, he's a free spirit. You can't hold him down. You know what I'm saying? Okay, now the next point. Let's go to the next point, what I wrote down. And it's a very fast video, because it's just what I see and I make connections. Remy is a Gemini, and Geminis are air signs. And the 3 air signs are Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. Now, the Aquarius embodies the traits of the Gemini and the Libra. And Gemini, when you're dealing with the 2, it's like dealing with a Libra and a Gemini. You know what I'm saying? Because they both have the same traits. They're very quick-witted, and they're very analytical. I think that Remy Ma analyzed Nicki. She'd been watching Nicki, because when you go in the jungle and you look at the natural geographics and you look at how a snake, and I'm referring to the snake because when you look at Gemini, it's 2 faces, and Gemini also represents the snake in ancient culture. And when the snake is going to take down its prey, it will watch it for a while. It will analyze it. It will probably keep in its mind every little weakness that it has. And this is what Geminis do. This is what Libra. I'm a Libra, and this is what I do. A Libra will write down everything that they don't like about you, and they will tuck it away. And when you have disrespected them too many times, they will come out with that list, and they will come out blasting every little thing, every little weakness that they have saw when they watched you. This is why I say Geminis and Libras are very, very, very keen when it comes to watching people, and Virgos are too. Excuse me. So Remy Ma watched her prey, and when she was ready to take it down, she took it down. You know what I'm saying? She came, she attacked, she wrapped her tail around Nikki, and she basically squeezed the life out of her. And that Barbie doll was just basically what happens when that boa constrictor comes and wrap its tail around you and squeeze the life out of you until you explode into pieces. Nikki. I think that with all Sagittarius, watch it. If you're going to criticize the Gemini, you might want to watch yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because they are analyzing you. And then on top of that, she went after Meek Mill, who is the Taurus. And the Taurus is like this. The Taurus are loving people. And I say that, you know, Meek, he did get a little emotional with Drake because him and Drake were friends and all of that. And according to the diss track that Remy Ma put out, that Nicki Minaj started the whole thing. And I believe that because, you know, I think that by Drake was worshiping Rihanna, I don't think that Nicki really liked it that, because she wanted to be the center of attention. Because Sagittarius are like that. They want to be the center of attention, and they do not like when you take the center of attention off of them. They're pretty narcissistic, because I can say this because my daughter is a Sagittarius and my son is a Taurus. And they fight all day long. So the Meek Mill and the Nicki Minaj relationship was not a good one, because Sagittarius and Taurus fight all day long. I mean, they don't get along. Every day I have to break up my son and my daughter. And my daughter does not like it when my son is not giving her attention or he's not playing with her. And she will get very nasty with him and very cutting and very cunning. And, you know, she will turn against him in public. I mean, she's just a real, you know, I have to grab her up sometimes. And I think Remy Ma for doing that, because the one thing that I saw about Nicki Minaj is when she got on stage and she was twerking, I was like, is this all that she has to do? Because, I mean, I think she's a very beautiful woman. But I'm like, is there a brain behind all of that beauty? Because if you have beauty, brains, and a body, then you got something. But if you just got a body and no brains, this is why I think that Nicki Minaj cannot come back, because she has no brains behind all that body and all that beauty. Okay, also too, I feel like that the older veterans like Salt and Pepper, Missy Elliott and all of them, when they did that show with Queen Latifah and them giving respect to the vets, that the female veterans in hip hop, Remy did her thing. I mean, and my thing, when I was looking at it, I was like, wow, they chose Remy Ma. You know what I'm saying? They chose her, a dark-skinned queen. They chose her. And I was happy, because I was like, Remy Ma has been trying to come up since 98. She's been trying to get there. And it seems like people have been throwing stones in her way, like, you know, and she's been trying to fight it. So I am happy to see her have her day. And my thing is, a lot of people will talk about, well, you know, females in the black community don't get along, da 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 da. But my thing is, you have to take authority sometimes when a female is out of line, because a lot of us have allowed this Barbie bimbo prostitution stuff stay in our community, and we don't check it. And I'm glad that she checked it. She checked it like your mama checked your ass when you around there being too hot in the pants and your mama come check you. She checked her. And I'm glad. Because, you know, everything that she was saying about the Brazilian butt lifts and all of that stuff, I am so happy that I don't have to get none of that stuff done. I don't got to get plastic surgery. I don't have to put no weave in. I can just be me. And I'm loving it. So, you know, I'm kind of glad she checked Nikki, you know, because Nikki is a Sagittarius. And Sagittariuses can get a little bit too carried away because it's fire. They're very impulsive. And Nikki, don't get it wrong. Don't get it twisted. She is a very beautiful woman. Very beautiful. But if she would put some substance up in that head, I think she would be good to go. You know what I'm saying? Because Sagittariuses are smart people, but they got to have some substance. They got to have some brains. And sometimes it takes developing it. And I think that Nikki hasn't had the chance to develop her mind. She's developing her body, but not her mind. You know what I'm saying? And all this plastic surgery is just, you know, developing whoever you want to be on the outside, but you're not taking care of the woman inside. And this is another reason why I think that her and Meek Mill didn't last either, because Taurus men, they like educated women. They like women who are educated, know what they're talking about, know what they're doing, and pretty much business-like. She's a businesswoman, but she's a little bit too catty, and that's the Sagittarius. They are subject to mood swings. They can get aggressive. They can make fools of themselves. And I mean, you know, some of this stuff that we've seen Nicki Minaj doing, she has been making a fool of herself at some point. Like, you know, with her and Taylor Swift, that was just embarrassing. I don't want to keep rambling on, so I want to go to the next point. As I said, I think that the older hip-hop veterans, female veterans, they gave Remy Ma the support and the go-ahead by having her on the show. To, you know, she venerated the veterans, and you understand that you can't get nowhere without venerating the veterans or the elders who've been doing the work. You know what I'm saying? Because this is a work in progress, and hip hop is just not some entertainment. It has art. It's an art. It's an art. It's a science to it, and you got to have bars. And this is what Remy Ma did. She brought back the bars, because as I think it was Lord Jamar that was saying that we became a culture of beats and no lyrics. You know, hip hop was built on lyrics, being able to take your knowledge and create a story and tell the story. You know what I'm saying? I was born in the 80s, so I'm happy for Remy Ma. You know what I'm saying? She know what it is. She been around the veterans, and she been schooled well. Anyway, let me go to the next point. Nikki was given, when she played that skit or that clip of Beyonce saying that she is the queen of hip hop. I think this is why Jay-Z is coming out saying that he doesn't want his wife a part of the beef. And we're going to get on Beyonce. Beyonce is a Scorpio moon. If anybody will look up astrology, Scorpio moon, when your moon is in Scorpio, that's kind of bad. It means your thinking has fallen. You know what I'm saying? You need some help thinking, because your thinking has fallen. I think that Jay-Z is trying to, you know, kind of like, you know, shush that up, because she probably did tell her that. But I mean, Beyonce is calling herself the queen bee. And if we think about this, when Nicki came to power, as Remy Ma said, that's because Remy Ma was locked up and there was no competition. Now, when Little Kim got locked up, this is when Beyonce started calling herself Queen Bee. And I'm like, you know, they ran with this stuff. And I'm like, you got to be original. And I'm glad, again, that she's bringing originality back. You know what I'm saying? And I think that Beyonce should stop using Queen Bee and give it back to Little Kim. You know what I'm saying? Little Kim, that is her brand. Give it back to her and stop, you know, taking that brand and using it. I don't think that that's fair. So this is just a synchronicity, and synchronicity is just to bring out certain points and get y'all to look at the last 4 months. Okay, now let's go back and look at Kanye West and Jay-Z. When Kanye was ranting and raving on that stage, he was mad because the Sagittarius, the archer, Jay-Z, was trying to control his movement. And Kanye wasn't having it. So Kanye blew up and he got angry. And I think that Kanye may have some anger issues because Geminis have that. You know, they have anger issues. They have, you know, those type of issues when they are being told that they can't do certain things and they're being shushed. They act like that. So I feel like that's another episode of the Gemini and the Sagittarius, which are natural enemies. And again, Nas and Jay-Z, the Virgo and the Sagittarius, they are enemies to a certain extent. They don't get along with the archer. And the archer is he's a natural leader. Who else? At one time, Tupac and Jay-Z were going at it. Tupac is a Gemini. Jay-Z is the archer, the Sagittarius. So it is a repeated occurrence of personalities that are in conflict with each other, and you're going to see it. You're going to keep seeing it because these are natural, traditional enemies. So this is my astrological analyzation of conflict in rap. And I'll probably put out some more videos as they come to me. Again, I'm new to YouTube, so I'm just stepping out here. And if you like the video, just push like and join my page. I'll try to, you know, get some interesting things out. It's just a conversation that I'm having with you. And, you know, if you don't like it, skip it. If you like it, put a thumbs up. Thank you.